Hey everyone, this is Rebecca. You haven't heard from me for a while because I have been knee deep in wine tasting preparations. Our wine tasting event for the nonprofit I work at is on May 3rd, and that's just a couple of weeks away. So um, my focus has been on that. However, I've promised you in previous videos that I wanted to show you another video about related databases for managing an event like this wine tasting, as well as another way that I'm using uh, relational databases in my soap business. I'm excited about showing you those, particularly with the one with the wine tasting, because I've been using that heavily. It's been really a very functional way for me to manage, for example, our auction. We have a live auction and a silent auction, and the way I was able to use relational databases this time to go from a master call list to a calling list to items received, and then ultimately shifting those items into a live auction or a silent auction listing that's ready for the program has worked really nicely in Notion, and I'm excited about showing you that. And I would say that another place where those relational databases have been really handy is in our registration. Um, I'll show you those in another video, but those are some ways that Notion is functioning really well for me. On the other hand, one of the things I have found since my original uh, videos about Notion and how I use Notion is the hang-ups that I run into with task management. That was one of my first videos and probably one of the most popular videos, was how I use task management, so almost in a bullet journal fashion, between my daily tasks, my reflections about where I'm going, and my log or my journal of where I've been and what I've done. Um, and I've said in the Facebook Making Notion Simple Facebook group that one of the things with that I'm finding with Notion is that it's a fantastic way and a fantastic place to manage tasks or to take care of task management if you have time to manage it within Notion. But as soon as you get yourself into a fast-paced environment and you need to jot things down quickly, or you need reminders, or whatever the case is, that's where I find the task management within Notion to start to break down. And so and like others have, I think, have struggled with the same thing, have had to go back to my traditional task manager and hang on to that in order to function and get the daily sort of stuff done, which has been frustrating because I would love to be all in on Notion, but when it comes to getting things done, like this wine tasting, I got to have something that's a little bit that works a little that the workflow is smoother and functions a little bit more quickly than Notion allows me to do. So, but one of the things I discovered today, which I'm just thrilled about, somebody had showed how they had integrated TickTick within, and they were showing a screenshot of their phone, but I thought, well, of course, TickTick is a web-based app. It's also available in a lot of different forms. So, for example, this is the homepage for TickTick without getting into the actual, like my own TickTick task manager. But you can see here it's available across platforms. You got Mac, Windows, web. You've got different extensions available. It's available on Apple Watch. So it's available across a lot of different platforms. And what I have found, previous to seeing how somebody else had integrated TickTick and Notion, I have loved TickTick. I've used a lot of different task managers, but this one was this. I'm thrilled with it. It's easy to use. It's not overwhelming. And so if I go here, this is my TickTick where I've logged in. So you've got three panels. There's a lot of videos out on TickTick already, so I won't say a whole lot. But basically, you can sort. So I've got. Oops, let me go here. I've got personal tasks. I've got business tasks. This is also business. It's my production. It helps me keep track of what I need to make. some things I'm doing in Notion, the nonprofit where I work at, the different things that I'm trying to do there. So each one of these is different tasks within those areas. And within these, you can also have subtasks. So let me see here. This is actually an email that I pulled in, but let me see if I can find it. You can do some wonderful subtasks. Let me just create one. This is a sample task, and if I go here, um, um, task A, task B, task C, then if I just click this here, and I can make each of those tasks, and these can then be drug onto a calendar. You can set these up with their own dates and their own times. So let's see, that's due tomorrow. Okay, and then that's set for tomorrow. If I go and I look at the calendar, and this is the thing I love, I'm going really fast through this, but like I said, there's a lot of videos about this already. If I go to the calendar view, okay, keep an eye on this. Go to calendar view, we set that for tomorrow. So there it is. And I can move that around. I could click into that and shift that to, well, it already is tomorrow. I can shift it to next week. So if I, so now this is set for April. Well, that's still, let me see, that didn't go to next week. What happened here? Oh, okay, I set the task. So we'll set this for next week also. So let me try that again. So we'll set that for next week, and I probably need, there we go, I have to say okay. So now if I go a week further, there it is. But anyway, there's a lot of functionality, and I can move this all around. But then if I go back to, I think that's in the inbox probably. Let me see, do a search here. What did I call that? I forgot what I called that. Anyway, I have lost it, only because I can't remember what I called it. So let's just go, let's do a search for task A. Let's see what that shows up. There, sample. Yeah, I did call it sample. Okay, so there it is. So you can do a search for your tasks as well and find it. So apparently, make sure I pull that over into my inbox. Where is that? There we go. I'll pop that into the inbox. Anyway, so that's just a quick, so you've got your list view. You can go into a calendar view and see it that way, where they're all fed in. And I have my work calendar, my Google work calendar is pulled in here, as well as my iCloud calendar is pulled in here for personal projects. So it's all in here together. I absolutely love that, because I don't like having all my stuff separated. You can also have tags for everything. So I have tags for some of my scents, scents that have been discontinued. I'm still keeping track of things I need to record, things I'm ready to market, thank you notes I need to write. Anyway, so I use a lot of different tags. So if I go here to thank you, for example, okay, that's going to pull up with all of the thank you notes that I've got scattered around that I need to do. If I hit market, these are different things products that have been made, and I need to get them marketed. So you can have a lot of different tags. Custom, you can also create custom groups. So for me, let me use soap priority. What I have done here, let me go to edit here. So the SOAP priority for me is everything that has been tagged with high and this week is a priority, and then they automatically show up in this custom filter that I've created for SOAP priority. And then the same with work priority. These are the things I know I need to be working on this week, for example. So there's that. And then on the online version, you can also have there's statistics, so you can see how you've done there. You can look at some of those. There's a Pomodoro, and I don't use that, but there's a timer there for that. In the phone app. There's also a habit tracker that just came out. So just a really nice to-do app, and I love it. I looked at ClickUp, for example, and that just seemed overwhelming to me, and I quickly came back to TickTick. So I know that I have found my home in TickTick. I love it. So how does this all relate to Notion? Because that was a long ways divergent from Notion. So what I discovered today is that I can, because TickTick is a web app, I can pull that in here, and sometimes it takes a little bit to full in. So my TickTick to-do list is pulled right in here in Notion. So I have done away with trying to keep track of my to-do lists in the way I was trying to show you before, just because I couldn't manage it, especially when things got hectic. But now I can pull my Notion to-do list in here like this, and I can also switch it around and see it in different ways. So I can see the calendar here, and it functions just like it does in the web app, or I've also got the app right here, so it's the same way. I can pull in my task list in here as well, and it functions just as nicely. So let me see here. Not sure why things are not showing up here. Let me look here, see what's going on. So all, okay, there we go. So I'm looking at all. Well, yeah. So, and then if I go back to this week, all. Well, come on now. So it's gonna be a little bit slower, I've noticed. I'm not sure why all of a sudden I'm not able to. Oh, I need to click OK. That was the problem. Okay, there it goes. So there everything is. And I can move things around just like I was able to before. So I can shift that forward. I have, let me see, what is that? Yeah, I still need to do that. So I'm going to shift that to tomorrow. And I'm doing that tomorrow also. So there's some things I've fallen behind on, but I can move them along and they'll show up then in my task list. So I can go to today. There's several things I haven't finished today. So let's see here. There we go. Come back here. I'm not sure what just happened. I see what happened. Here we go. Pull that back out. All right. So these well, what am I doing here? There we go. It depends on where I'm clicking, I guess. So I can open those just like before. And these are things I need to do yet, So I can have the today view. I can have the next 7 days. So and then my next 7 days, I've got that filtered by priority. The filtering button is right here, so I can filter by list, by time, by title, by tag. So if I go by list, that's across all of my different lists. I can filter by time, so overdue, things doing today, things tomorrow, next week. By tag, which is what I had. Let me see here. That's not very useful for me right here. So I'm going to slip out of that, and by priority. So that's where my next 7 days are at. The calendar view, I think I've already showed you that. Inbox. Okay, so you can see it's got the same functionality that it does in the web app, and I can still add things. So a quick add, this is how you add a task. Boom, pop it in there. If I want to put more stuff in there, subtask A, subtask B. Okay, and let's say I want those to actually be subtasks and not just a description. and I can go like that. They become subtasks, and I can date those individually to help me to get along with it. And if I do that, and let's say I finish this, so watch up here because it will give you a progress bar as you finish stuff. So there goes your progress bar, it's half done. So, you know, TickTick has just got a lot of neat things in it, and it's just refreshing to see that now I can have this, and I'm going to actually delete these. I'll just say I've done that. And there, okay, got rid of that. You can pull emails in. You can attach files. So let me see here. What have I done? I think if I go to wine tasting, I am sure I've got some things with some pictures in them. So I can put pictures in here. Well, let's see here. Let's see if that works. There you go. So you can pull a picture in here, you know, and it's loading. It looks like you can put files in here. So let's see here. We'll pull a file in there. So it attaches a file, so you can put files, you can put images, you can type notes, you can, you know, do whatever. And within the notes, you can also, and what I find is, like, say if I want a task and notes, task A, task B. So let's say I want those to be subtasks, and I still want some writing, then instead of coming down here, because anything you put down here is going to be a subtask also, just go back up here to do your notes that you want to add to that item. Okay, so you can put your notes and your subtasks all in the same spot. I want to delete these because I really don't need all of that on prepare gift certificate displays. Okay, so does that give you an idea how TickTick works? And so now let me quickly show you how I pulled that in there. So I'm going to create a new page. Let's say this is a task list. Just name it, whatever you want to call it. You could call it task list. You could call it calendar, whatever it is. And then go in here. Go back to your TickTick account. Copy this URL up here. Just copy. And then go back. And this is how I do it. I just paste that in. Control V, paste it in. And I do a create embed. And it's pulling it in. Give it a little bit of time here to do its work. And there it is. Click off to the side. And then what I do, actually, you know what? Open that as a page. And then what I do is set this to full width. Up. Full width. There we go. Oh, for crying out loud. There it goes. Okay. And then what I do is pull this down and keep pulling it down and keep pulling it. And you're only going to have to do this once to get it set up. Pull it down as far as it'll go. If that's as far as it'll go, that's as far as it'll go. And I think that's out as far as it will go. So there you go, and then you're ready to work with it. A couple other things. You can also add, this is a nice thing up here, TickTick lets you, at least in an Apple computer, you've got a quick drop down here. You can quickly add something in here. So even if you're not in Notion or not in TickTick, you can quickly get something in there. There's also a keyboard shortcut, and I don't remember what that is at the moment because I don't use it very often. But and just to show you, you can do the same thing in here with this. This is the Mac app or the Windows app. Okay, it's oh, excuse me. What I wanted to show you is the Notion. This is the Notion app. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to open a new page. Let's say we'll call this one calendar. And I think I probably still have that in there. So Control V, there it is, create embed. It's going to pull it in. Give it a little bit of time here to work. Okay, there it is. What I do again is open that as a page so I can get my full look at it. And it's going kind of slow. Make that full width. And then just lengthen this so that you've got room to work at it and you're not, then that you're not scrolling so much. Okay, something like that. All right, and it might go for, it might pull down more. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to stop there. So and there you go. And then you've got this, and rename it whatever you want to rename it. That's probably the one that I put in on the online version, but you get the idea. Okay, so it's pulling that in again for a first time. There it is. So, but this is the one I started with. This is my original one. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these because I don't need two of these. That's probably why it's slowing down. So I'm going to delete that one. And I think that's it. All right. So does that give you an idea how you add TickTick within Notion, and then you can have your to-do list here. You can still do your notes and your journaling then in other pages in Notion as you normally do. And then if you need to add something from these other pages as a task, I would say just pop up here and enter it here real quick. Or, I mean, you can go to that page and enter it there, but so there's a lot of ways to quickly get things into it. You can also mail tasks into TickTick. So I love TickTick, and the fact that I can use it within Notion is pretty exciting to me. I hope this helps. This is a quick and dirty tutorial, and I'll come back again probably after May 3rd and then show you a little bit more about how I have used Notion for event planning, and particularly setting up an auction and a wine tasting event, event registration and that sort of stuff. In those cases, Notion has been really, really quite functional and quite handy. So I look forward to showing that to you as well. If you have questions about this video, please share them in the comments below. I hope I did better on the sound this time, and I hope that this is helpful. Talk to you later.